Well, thanks for visiting us this morning at KTALnews.com and your Weather Authority app. I'm meteorologist Josh Marces, and this is your Tuesday morning forecast update. Aside from a heat advisory today, this is a very encouraging weather update for everyone. We do have a cold front which is coming in tomorrow, so that will really drop our temperatures, and we'll especially feel that on Thursday. We'll get some much-needed rain for a few days as well. Looking like our rainy period here will be Wednesday afternoon through Thursday morning. We'll dry out a bit this weekend and warm up, but it's starting to look like we'll have some scattered storms each day next week, and if it all kind of lines up correctly, we may have a bunch of days in the 80s to look forward to next week. So I'm not ready to declare this kind of the nail in the coffin of the 100-degree heat, but it is looking pretty encouraging here, so hopefully we don't have too many more of these heat advisories this summer. But we do have one today until 7 p.m. Again, your heat index, when you factor in high temperatures, that will be right at 100 degrees in most locations. You factor in that humidity today, we'll get a heat index, especially with some sunshine out there, that will push towards, I would say 108 to 109 would be kind of the number to focus on this afternoon. So of course, like we've been dealing with all summer, just do whatever you do or to kind of keep cool here, and make sure your animals, well, your livestock, have a nice cool place in the shade, some water to drink today as well. Hot for us, hot for them, and again, we'll likely see the heat today and much of the day tomorrow. The cold front will get here later in the day on your Wednesday, so we'll really feel that heat relief late Wednesday into Thursday. And you can definitely see the front out there. You can see this fetch of dry air across Texas and Oklahoma. Again, a front not only separates the cold air from the warm air, but the front kind of between the dry air and where we have a lot of that water vapor. Those areas of green here are some thunderstorms this morning up towards Kansas City and over towards western Kansas. So this will be the front that comes down in the next few days here, and does bring that chance of rain and definitely brings us some cooler weather as well. Still about 24 hours away, so we're probably not going to pick up much rain from the front until we get into the day tomorrow. That said, I do have that 20% chance of rain in today's forecast, and that will basically be for some spotty showers that pop up here towards the I-30 corridor. Again, too late in the day to help out with the heat today, but you'll see here on Wednesday the front does start arriving in the northern Arklatex tomorrow, so a lot of these areas will drop into the mid-90s and some scattered storms through the day on Wednesday. We're showing the storms popping up in Texarkana and Shreveport in the early afternoon. We like that. If the storms come in the early afternoon, may hold us in the 90s tomorrow. And again, the storms will kind of dissipate here Wednesday night, but we're looking at a pretty decent push of storms on Thursday morning, as that front will be lingering for one more day. And again, the rain early in the day on Thursday will likely hold most areas in the 80s, so especially this time of the year, we like that early day rainfall. One thing to be mindful of tomorrow, with the temperatures rising into the upper 90s ahead of the front, you get all that hot air that kind of loads up and gets pulled into the atmosphere, so all that warm air kind of rising here, and then it cools down as it rises in the atmosphere and falls back to the surface. So we've seen it a lot this summer that when the temperatures are at 100 and we get some thunderstorms, we do see some damaging downburst winds, so that could be something to look out for, especially Wednesday afternoon. Storm Prediction Center, they've got that marginal risk, which is the level 1 severe weather risk, 5 being the worst, 1 being the lowest, so it's kind of the low end of the scale as far as severe weather, basically saying we can't rule out a few damaging wind gusts, but we'll definitely get some needed rain as well. Showing about half an inch would be the average here that we can expect. Of course, you get some thunderstorms. Could see some pockets here in the dark blue where we see maybe 1 to 2 inches of rain as well, and this will definitely be some beneficial rainfall. Now, we'll dry out just a bit Friday and Saturday. That will send us back into the 90s, but we do have some rain setting up late in the weekend. And next week, it's looking like we'll have a front that stalls close to the region for much of the week, so I'd expect we'll see a high chance of rain each day next week. And again, if we're fairly lucky here, we'll see highs in the 80s as well as the low 90s for much of next week.